Good afternoon and thanks for joining us for THV 11 News at noon. I'm Jurnee Taylor. Here's what we're working on today. The Hogs are back in town and we'll show you how the city of Little Rock is preparing for tomorrow's season opener in just a few minutes. Plus, a new Arkansas law requiring parental consent for kids to use social media will not take effect today. The reason behind the development coming up. The unemployment rate is up, but employers are still looking for workers. We'll have more from the new jobs report just a little later. But first, a big talker for the Labor Day weekend and just the weather overall. Meteorologist Scott Covert, we're talking thousands of people who will be out on the holiday roads, but also some here for the last day of summer, especially with the Hogs game this weekend. What should we know?
Well, there's a lot to know. We are going to see some changes going into the weekend. You know, it's been really nice the last several days. It's nice today, and I'm not saying tomorrow is going to be uncomfortable, but we're going to notice not only the temperatures warm up, but our humidity increases as well. Here's where we're at right now. 83 in Little Rock, 78 in Batesville, currently sitting at 82 in Hot Springs. 85 degrees this afternoon in Monticello. Really not too bad, right? Got an area of a bit of a disturbance off to our east, and that is swinging a few clouds into parts of south and eastern Arkansas. Let's call it partly cloudy the rest of today. And we'll see those temperatures warming up to about 90 degrees. We'll probably see that afternoon high around 3-4 o'clock this afternoon. And then heading into the evening, those temperatures do start to come back down into the 70s before eventually dropping into the 60s for those overnight low temperatures. Today's dry and mild. But then going into your Labor Day weekend, we do have a chance of a few showers. I've got some brand new information for you with regard to when and where those could occur. And we'll also have to take a look at the temperatures. They're going to be on the rise, and so is the humidity. I've got your Labor Day forecast here coming up in about 14 minutes.
Thank you, Scott. Well, Hog fans have been preparing all week for tomorrow's season opener. The festivities continue tonight. A big parade and pep rally is set for tonight in Little Rock. It follows last night's Razorback tailgate at Park Plaza Mall. THV 11 caught up with the mall's general manager, Teresa Poe, to find out where the idea came from.
We have new ownership and we want to be very involved with our community. And the chamber is a great way to kick off some of our upcoming events and welcome all the small businesses out and just have a great time tonight.
Now the fun starts tonight at 7 in the River Market District. The Razorback Marching Band and the team's Spirit Squads will be there to get you ready for the game. And THV 11 will also be there bringing you all the excitement. Don't miss Rolly Hoyt hanging out with the Hogs at 5, 6, and 6:30. Now, many roads will lead to one stadium drive this weekend. And no matter if you're coming from the northwest part of the state or just 15 minutes from down the road, just know if you're anywhere close to War Memorial Stadium, you will run into thousands of exciting Hogs on the roads this weekend. Also, the stadium staff and state police have done this before, and they're ready for the surge of people.
There'll be a lot of traffic, and again, they have a plan for one-way traffic coming in. If you're not going to the game, stay away from over there, and then you don't run into the, well, can I go this way? Do I need to go that way? Or you're stopped for 20 minutes waiting across the street.
So to make sure your weekend with the Hogs goes over smoothly, the recommendation is simple. Pay attention and know where to go before you leave. Now remember, kickoff this weekend is now set for noon. The game will be streamed on SEC Network Plus and ESPN Plus. We'll have full highlights and reaction from the game on our first Hog Zone Super Saturday show. That's Saturday night after our late newscast. In local news, an Arkansas man reached out to THV 11 warning us of a scam. Charles Banks thought that he was doing a good deed trying to help out his brother Terry, who was arrested Tuesday morning. That day, he got a call from a person claiming to be with a bail bonds company. He was led to believe the person could help and eventually sent money to the scammer through Cash App. Terry was released Tuesday evening, but says his bail was paid by someone else, and he never received the call from the supposed company. Now, the company being impersonated says this isn't the first time it's happened, and as you would expect, Banks is not happy.
My thing is though that, and we don't sit here and want to give our money away to some scammers that you go get your job. Go get your job. Stop taking from people.
The Pulaski County Jail is now aware and currently looking into the situation. In a new developing story, Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders approved funds that would help fund organizations for victims of crimes. Governor Sanders approved $17 million to support survivors of child abuse, domestic violence, and human trafficking. After major cuts in federal funding to the Victims of Crime Act, or VOCA, some organizations that provide resources were almost pushed to make adjustments in their budgets or even shut down without proper funding. An Arkansas law that would create new restrictions for kids and social media now on hold this afternoon. The Social Media Safety Act, which requires parental consent for minors to create a social media account, was set to take effect today. But a U.S. district judge issued a temporary block last night. This comes after a recent lawsuit filed by a tech industry trade group. Proponents of the law says it's needed to keep kids safe, but opponents argue the law violates the First Amendment. You can learn more about this lawsuit and the Social Media Safety Act right now on THV11.com. In national news, President Biden will head to Florida tomorrow, surveying the damage from Hurricane Adalia. Communities continue to make cleanup efforts through the devastation. Right now, there have been 2 deaths reported from the storm on Georgia and the other in Florida. Many people lost their lives. Omar Villafranca has more in Cedar Key, Florida.
This is our cottage too. It's still standing. We're missing a few parts of it.
Cedar Key's Faraway Inn sits right on the water. A feature owner, Amy Firestein, said is usually a draw for visitors.
I have never seen anything like this.
But as Hurricane Adalia brought around 7 feet of storm surge to the area, the inn's proximity to the ocean left it wrecked, waterlogged, and covered in debris, going into what would have been a busy Labor Day weekend. What would your Labor Day look like?
I'm already full for Labor Day. I got up at 5 o'clock this morning and started sending cancellation emails just to let them know.
The small island community has a population of roughly 800 people. Many of their homes are now piles of brick and wood.
When you're coming back, what were you expecting?
When we saw it on TV, honestly, we were worried.
Laura Duncan said the hurricane destroyed her restaurant's main entrance, tore through its back stairways, flooded the dining room, and ripped up the floors, which they'd recently replaced.
And I never saw the floors below that, so now we were all making fun of how many colored tiles we had. So it's amazing, yes.
Like, you get a sense of humor.
No, well, you have to, you know.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Cry? I did that already.
Yeah.
The good news is that power is back on in Cedar Key, Florida. At its peak, about 250,000 Floridians were without power, but line crews have been working fast and non-stop, and that number is now well below 100,000 customers without power. Omar Villafranca, CBS News, Cedar Key, Florida.
A new report shows employers are still hiring, but there are signs the job market is slowing down. Industries like healthcare and construction continue to add workers, and restaurants are still also looking for help. Overall, employers added 187,000 jobs in August, but gains for July and June were down significantly. And the unemployment rate jumped from 3.5 to 3.8%, the highest number since February of 2022.
Last year, the pace of hiring was almost breathtaking, and now we're averaging about 40% lower than last year's monthly hiring pace.
Hemrick says the job market is returning to more normal levels after an explosion of hiring when pandemic lockdowns lifted. But while some parts of the job market are slowing down, workers are making more. Wages are up 4.3% from last year. Well, if you're planning to get away for the Labor Day weekend, you won't be alone. Whether you're flying or driving, we've got more on the busy travel weekend still ahead. Scott?
Got some changes in our 7-day forecast that includes an increased chance of rain. Not seen much rain lately. Some of us could see a few raindrops heading into your Labor Day weekend. How that impacts your plans, they're coming right up when THV 11 News at noon returns.